Hey, good morning everyone, and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. My name's Fred Weaver. My partner Kevin Kaufman is playing director today behind the camera. We're Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team, and joined today by a good friend of ours, Mark McIntyre. And this gentleman actually is here in Phoenix, Arizona with us. He's a part of Keller Williams Arizona Realty. And Mark just came in the office and was sharing with us about an experience he just had last week at a training event called Advanced Leadership. And for our viewers that watch us consistently, you guys would know that we've had a gentleman on this show by the name of Brian Klemmer on before. And Brian filmed a couple episodes with us probably back in like March, maybe somewhere in that ballpark, March, April, May, somewhere in there. And Brian runs a large leadership and training development company called Klemmer & Associates, and you can check them out at Klemmer.com. We've also got a bunch of his books in our store, in our resource thing, in our e-store here on the website. So enough about that. I'm throwing Mark on the spot here, okay? So first of all, yeah, I mean, we have no idea what we're about to talk about, but there's something raw about people that have come back from the Advanced Leadership Seminar.
Absolutely.
And like it always just inspires me to be able to sit down with somebody and talk with them. Usually it's not in front of the camera, but since you're here,
this is way out of my comfort zone.
I know, but this is good, right?
Absolutely.
So for our viewers, real quick, share with them just your 20-second real estate bio or background, if you will, just so they get an understanding of you.
I've been a realtor for about 5 years. Kind of dabbled in it for the first 3. About a year and a half ago, started after taking my lumps in the real estate development market, started building a real estate team, and I've got a good short sale business, 3 buyer specialists. Got a nice little program going on, but looking for a bunch of growth yet.
Yeah, cool. So a lot of our viewers out there don't know anything about advanced leadership, and I don't necessarily, not here to make a pitch for Klemmer & Associates, even though I will encourage our viewers to check out Klemmer.com and check out one of their upcoming Champions Workshops, which is one of the $20 events they do to kind of get you a taste of it. But share with us what you got last week. I mean, you were sharing with me just kind of how you've been having some conversations in your business and even in your relationships outside of business, but I guess if I can ask you this, and you can just ramble, I'm done talking here in a minute, but what shifted in you last week to create that new space?
The biggest piece for me was to get out of my head, and start living from my gut and my heart. I can tear myself up staying in my head for way too long, and essentially I just stuck on a treadmill. No movement one way or the other, but. When I trust my gut and my heart, I'm getting the results I'm looking for.
So what did that shift look like? I mean, what did that look like to do that?
I'm not sure if I follow. What do you? I mean,
I guess you're a guy who's got a real estate business, right? Mm-hmm. And you're doing pretty well, but at the same time, I think you're looking to get to another level. What was it that got you to move past, your current way of thinking to get somewhere new?
Some of one of the tools that I'm already using is a tool called the language of action.
Okay, yeah, tell us about that.
And that piece is wrapped around, creating an intimate relationship with your employees or your coworkers, if you will, to find out what truly drives them. Mm. And if you can sit down and create what truly drives them and figure out a way, for them to get what they want, yet you get what you want, it's a win-win. And I've always felt it and known that, hey, how do you do? But to have it put in your face and see it be successful is another story.
Yeah, well, we hear a lot about win-win, but I think what you're saying is like, to go one step further, to really find out what's important to people before you just try to say, hey, here's a great idea, why don't you go out and do this for me? Like we both have buyer's agents on our teams, we both have people that negotiate our short sales, and it's really easy to just give instructions and say go do this, but if we don't necessarily know what drives those people, a lot of times we find ourselves with the work back on our desk.
Absolutely, and that's where I'm coming from. I rolled into Klemmer & Associates with taking back all kinds of work that I thought I'd gotten rid of or delegated. Coming back off of this, I've had 3 solid conversations in the last 2 days with team members, and I think I can see the shift in their understanding and what is expected and what they can gain from it.
Yeah.
With my language now.
That's cool, really cool. Well, I think for our viewers out there, some of you, you know what, I know this is a little different episode, but we do this on Monday to you with the Mindset Monday, but it really is important. I mean, you throw that word around mindset a lot, but I like what you said earlier, which was I can live my life a lot in my head, and I can be in a place where, maybe I'm dealing with fear, I'm dealing with financial, whatever it is. I'm not putting that on you, but just us in general as people, we're always dealing with, like in the back of our mind, there's that little voice, as one of our friends, Diana Kokoska at Keller Williams University would always say, you have that drunk monkey on your shoulder that's constantly talking into your head. And what you said was, like I gotta trust my gut. I gotta shift into my heart, which is just trusting that, I gotta make some action. And there was an exercise, and I don't want you to explain what the exercise is, because that's one of the cool things about Klemmer and Associates is that we don't really share, what happens as far as the activities that go on. It's a unique training and development company in that it's not just a seminar where somebody talks at you all day. No. In fact, it's anything but that, as you learned. It's a lot of experiential work, like exercises and activities where you learn. And you told me that earlier, we were off camera, about one of the exercises within the first 2 to 4 hours of the day when you walk into advanced leadership, and you found yourself stuck, right? And there was something that was said to you by one of the facilitators in there. Do you mind repeating that? Do you remember what that was?
Yeah, I do. I remember I was, standing there, and it was a group of 54 of us, and about 45 of them had already taken their step and made their move. Yeah. And I'd yet to step off the line, and he came up to me and looked at me in the eyes and said, "Is this how you're going to live your life?" And it was apparently enough impetus that got me off the line, and I made my move.
I think that was the shift from your head to your heart. You went, you know what? And I think that's as important, guys, to kind of wrap up the episode. We all deal with it, and I mean, we can relate this to short sales, we can relate this to life, but there comes a certain point in time where we find ourselves in life living a lot in our head rather than from our heart, and there comes a time when you just gotta move, man. Yeah. I go to a church where our pastor always says, God lights and directs your path, but a lot of people are stuck in the ditch. Yeah. And so they're going, God, please tell me where to go, but they're sitting on the sidelines, literally in the ditch, and they haven't even gotten out of the ditch, climbed their way out, and got on the path. Yeah. And I mean, now that's a biblical reference, but it's the same concept, truth, whether you want to take it from the Bible or somewhere else. The concept is you got to get unstuck sometimes and just move. Yeah. So if you find yourself in a short sale transaction going, what do I do? Just move. I mean, there comes a certain point in time. I mean, I'm not saying you don't have some calculations that go on and you're trying to decide what's the best route, but at the end of the day, action produces a lot of things in life. And when we're moving, I think we're in the place where then we can start listening to our gut, and I think we just don't trust ourselves enough. If I could say it that way.
Absolutely, I think that's fear, trust, and you can get stuck in analyzing stuff all day long. How, what, why. Yep. Make a move.
There's people counting on you out there in your relationships, in your real estate business, guys. So I hope today's episode did something for you. I know for me, this is a first, hopefully the last time we have a guest on the show that's actually taller than me. But thanks so much for joining us. I had to throw that in there, Mark. So,
I appreciate it.
Hey, we're going to wrap it up. I think Mark knows how this goes. Kevin's behind the camera, so we'll wrap it up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Short Sale Power Hour! Short Sale Power Hour! Crush it.